Game number 1, Infernal Shrines. We are still at the Anniversary Cup, the playoffs, and we find ourselves in the losers bracket, and we actually got a highlight. This is a series that a lot of people expected to be maybe the grand final of the playoffs, but certainly not a match that takes place in the losers bracket. So we got the Stack of Doom against the Exodia stack, a lot of stacks here. Essentially, it's Dynouh's team against Ultralisk's team, if you so want. And we're starting our best of 5 series off with Infernal. And both of these teams have underperformed expectations. You can argue that Stack of Doom maybe a bit more so than Exodia stack, but not only did the Exodia stack already lose matches in their group stage, but then also here in the playoffs in the winner bracket, which is something that a lot of the players on their team are definitely not accustomed to. They came in as the big favorite, and now they have to fight for their tournament life here. So it's a little bit wild. Since we are already in the lower bracket, whichever team loses the series is out of the tournament and the winner will still advance. So there's a chance for the Exodia stack to make a lower bracket run, get to the grand final and still win the tournament. Same obviously true for Stack of Doom as well. But personally, very curious to see how this series plays out now. Generally speaking, blue team probably struggling a bit more, doing better now in the lower bracket. You could really see that practicing together as a 5-man unit has, over the course of the group stage and now the early playoff matches, improved their standing a bit here. But then, of course, Exodia stack also just stacked with big names. We kick things off with Diablo plus Rhaegar for the blue team. So frontline is already set up with Darkmog again playing the tank for the team. Old HTC days, that wouldn't really have happened. He's more so the side laner, but can get those stuns in on the shrines. Whereas we have Blaze, Malfurion, and Tracer for the red team. Tracer actually a hero that in the previous series that the Exodia stack played got banned out against them multiple times. So apparently Dynouh is now picking up the opportunity to get some Tracer action in. Supported by Malfurion is obviously going to help a lot too. Bans against Ultralisk, that's where we're getting Maiev taken out. And Außenseiter has been playing a lot of Gul'dan for the team. Now obviously he's someone that plays a whole lot with Genji, so this could come through here too. But Gul'dan has been the go-to pick in the previous series here in the playoffs that Stack of Doom used for Außenseiter. I believe it was on Tomb of the Spider Queen and on Infernal Shrines. So that explains why the hero is currently banned out. And now we get him, as we've seen a few times already, straight up on Zarya. So, very, very beefy frontline. Vala has been banned, and I am really curious to see what Ultralisk is now going to pick here. Suljin, probably not. Cassia, still up. Vala has been banned. So, you need a real heavy hitter. And Cassia is taken away from them. So, we got Jojo Blaze on the side of the Exodia stack. Cassia's taken away. We got Cassia plus Tracer. And now, since you're putting all your eggs into a basket, you're essentially trying to play with an auto attacker here. What's left? Do you go Suljin? Do you go Greymane? do you actually consider Reyna, which is something that the Exodia stack tried to make popular again? Not so sure. Ultralisk on the final pick goes for Jaina. We get a mage. No auto attacker. We're actually getting a mage here. Ultralisk with Jaina. Außenseiter with Zarya, and we are set and good to go. Game number 1 in an absolute crucial best of 5 series in this tournament. It's Infernal Shrines. Game on! The match of the stacks. The stack battle. Stack of Doom in blue on the left. Coming in with Außenseiter on Zarya and Demolitions Expert. X-Ray on Hogger. Linked on Rhaegar. Darkmog on Diablo. And Ultralisk, I am very sure that they wanted to pick Cassia before she was taken away. I think initially they were thinking about Vala, then she gets banned, then they are probably deviating away to Cassia, but once that Cassia gets claimed by the red team, they go for Jaina. We have Yasuo for the Exodia stack on Malfurion, Dynouh is playing Tracer, Hazops on Cassia, Bad Benny once more on Janna, and Bloodcool with Blaze. So, let the games begin. This is gonna be a big one. I cannot wait to see how this series plays out. Which team gets eliminated here? Only one team can make it to the next round and potentially go for that lower bracket run towards the grand final. Which is honestly not guaranteed, considering that both of these teams have lost multiple series throughout the tournament already. It's not like a team just screwed up, you know, once and had a bit of a bad game, maybe underestimated an opponent. Nope, they actually struggled in multiple matches. Talking about struggling, Jaina struggling to stay alive, and that's the first kill. Exodia stack with 1-0 kill count, as Tracer is just rushing around even more. Dynouh. Tracer against Diablo. This time Tracer gets the kill, so that's 2 kills already against the stack of Doom. There's a couple of plays that obviously always stick with you throughout the years. You know, a couple of tournaments that you will always fondly remember. Some matches that come in. For me, personally, it's the mid-season brawl in Sweden is one of those things. I mean, again, amazing games. The old Fnatic versus Dignitas series and stuff. And every single time that I see Diablo and Tracer in a match, I have to... I'm reminded of Breeze playing Diablo against Fans Tracer, and Breeze just absolutely destroying Fans Tracer throughout the entire series. And Fan just later on, like, just talking about it, is like, this guy isn't normal. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Breeze had an absolute on day, and Fan just struggled with that a whole bunch. So every time I see that interplay, and I see Darkmock not moving in on that map, and see Tracer coming up, it's always just, okay, are we going to get those wall stuns and those quick kills again? Fantastic players, obviously. Breeze the other day actually playing a couple of placement matches. I'm not quite sure if he's looking to come back in any tournaments anytime soon. I honestly doubt it. But seeing him play some Heroes of the Storm is still great. And Fan obviously still playing throughout the years here. Not really active as a tournament player anymore since the days of HGC, but still active in the game itself. Now with the first shrine activating, we have currently 2 kills to 0 in favor of the Exodia stack, which grants them a slight lead in experience. Yeah, also getting bullied around just a little bit. 18 stacks now for Zarya on the level 1. And we're going to keep our eye on the shrine at the top lane. Not quite there yet. Players are slowly making their way over. Experience for level 7 is of course another thing that all of them are interested at this point. Trying to get the talent lead and then use that to get position on the shrine itself. Jaina, for example, is still sitting in the mid and the bot lane. She can easily burn a wave down with just a simple ability rotation. But it is the Exodia stack that takes the lead here on this. Well, on experience. Because they have those kills and that gave them some extra XP. Now down at the bottom of the map, Ultralisk is going to get the final minion wave. This should give them just barely the the talent, and now they can move topside with Jaina and make sure that they're finally putting up a fight here. But it's already a battle, and Jojo is now coming in to turn this into a 5 versus 4. So they're immediately making a move for Hogger, and X-Ray is in some trouble. But he's not the only one. Dynouh and Tracer also has to retreat here. Hogger gets pinged and killed. Jaina not even with a team, not even making any moves here. Ultralisk just saying, boys, whatever, I'm gonna rotate between the lanes, you do you. And it leads to 3 heroes being obliterated by the Exodia stack. That's 5 kills to 0 now, and puts them into a great spot. Chasing them hard off the shrine and locking in kills against Hogger, Diablo, and then shortly after also Zarya. So, yeah. That is already a pretty bad start for the blue team. For the Exodia stack, this is pretty decent. You're currently in a spot where you are guaranteed to get the first objective. They stopped at 39. They can try and get it to level 10. Well, that was the hope, but they're not that fast with the XP gain, but that would have made this push even more dangerous. It's a Frozen Punisher, which is already a problem. At this point, the jump and the kill. Yep, not only get the jump, get triggered in front of the gate, but they get a kill on Zarya on top of it. Now they're breaking through this easily. Pick up level 10 abilities. Blessed Shield, Valkyrie, the play for Link, trying to take him down. Link is able to get away for now, but Darkmock is going to die again. Diablo is gone, and I can guarantee you that this fort is falling too. This is a massive, massive problem for the stack of Doom. They're getting crushed. The Exodia stack is going through them like hot butter through cheese. Totally obliterating everything that they see and that has a blue color. And honestly, that Zarya did again. Außenseiter is nothing but an oversized minion at this point in time. He gives it a little bit more experience. That's the only difference. And also has a bigger hitbox, I suppose. So we have him with 3 deaths. The same is true for Diablo. The keep wall has been destroyed. So the keep exposed. They're now starting to play around the middle. Finally we have level 10 abilities. But, phew! Ring of Frost. The tool, the weapon of choice for Ultralisk. And Rhaegar is the only one that hasn't died yet. This is a very rude awakening for the Stack of Doom. 9 kills to 0 thus far. And now the blue team trying to be aggressive. They come in, they need kills. Great Ancestral from Linked. Diablo on the point. They could maybe get the kill on Malfurion. They're trying at least. The camp not taken yet, and Malfurion goes down. Indeed, they finally get some kills here. 5 versus 4 now. Jaina re-engaging into the battle. They're all trying to play this one out. And here's the Ring of Frost. Zarya is dead again. They're trying the kill on Tracer. That didn't come in. And the blue team retreats. They had to give the camp up. Was not stolen by them. The Exodia stack maintained it. And it's a trade in kills 1-4-1. There's catapults at the top lane already. 7 minutes into the game. Rough. Now, level 13 talents are about to be ready. Well, they are ready. There's a 2-level advantage still, so a huge lead in experience. And with Cassia coming back, we can now start to re-engage here again. Außenseiter really having a tough one on this. Yep, Zarya gets targeted again and dies. I mean, they're just farming him at this point. That's 5 deaths on Zarya. Diablo is also down once more, and we are looking at 12 kills to 1. Exodia stack has so much momentum, it's honestly nuts. They turned a little snowball into an avalanche, and they are just burying the Stack of Doom. The Stack of the Doomed is a bit more like it once again. But yeah, it's just insane. This also puts into perspective the performance of other teams, like for example the Rocket Raccoons, who've done exceptionally well in the winner bracket. But if you just look at this in comparison, this is highlighting their performance even more. Same is true for Team Rip. Whoever wins here goes up against Team Rip in the losers bracket final. The loser of the series takes 4th place in the tournament, which is, again, already an accomplishment, of course, but both of these teams were aiming for a lot higher than that. Shrine is activating soon, and thankfully for the blue team, they have enough time to get themselves a level 13 talent. They might be a little bit late on the Shrine, but it's not going to be too bad. X-Ray with a perfect angle here to get the camp destroyed. I like it. They're still 2 levels behind though, so the stats advantage alone is huge. And yeah, here's the play towards the top. Darkmaw, careful. X-Ray also getting attacked again. Yeah, but they still have all of their ults ready. 18 stacks. Blessed Shield already comes out. They're trying to get the quick kill in. Blaze engaging once more. And Zarya the entire time with shield after shield trying to help them out here as we get the shockwave, the ring, and the kill. Hazorps is gone. The old man is dead. Cassia destroyed. And the blue team finally taking a bit of a position here, taking a stand. But Exodia, they're not giving up. The Exodia stack is still trying to at least win the objective. They're on 35 stacks right now on the Shrine minions. Looking strong on those. Yasuo gets away. Good for him. No kill against Malfurion. Tracer's dancing around. They need a single minion. One more minion and they got it. And Blaze locks it in and gives the next Punisher to the team. Dynouh is slowly getting away here. And with a speed bubble, gets chased by Rhaegar. Dynouh might actually not make it. He looks like he's going to fall. He's dodging them as best as he can. There's a big wave coming through the top for the blue team's core. Dynouh buys some time, I guess, for the Punisher in the middle. But essentially, at the end of the day, he dies too. 3 kills to 12. The fight, by the way, not over. They're re-engaging into this, which also means that the defenders can't really do anything here. And the blue team might lose a few heroes now. Zarya's again in trouble. Rhaegar has already fallen. That leaves them with 3 heroes left. And the core was already getting attacked by catapults. They're just not doing enough damage yet to make a difference here. But the Punisher is now pushing for the keep wall. The second fort has been destroyed. And even here they're going to get damage in. The wall is falling. Now they're going for Diablo again. He's trying to push out Darkmog, and he gets murdered. Darkmog is dead. This could be a second keep if they're able to get enough damage in. With Malfurion popping Tranquility, it certainly looks like this one is going to get destroyed too. We are 11 minutes into game number 1. 15 kills, 2-3, and 2 keeps are gone. Absolute utter insanity. Exodia stack is making a statement here. Zarya died 6 times, Diablo died 5 times. 26,000 damage. Zarya is still top damage dealer in the game, despite the fact that she died this many times already. So, on the other hand, we have 43,000 for Cassia, 40,000 roughly for Tracer, and still Blaze sitting at a respectable 25,000. As the team picks up camp after camp after camp. I mean, just look at the difference in experience here. The hero experience alone is just nasty. I mean, it feels like it should be more with this being a 12 kill gap. But then they're doubling the mercenary experience, passive experience, minion experience, all ahead. Diablo gets attacked again, gets the Ancestral though, as they're pushing further. Hogger wasn't here, he's now starting to come in. Is looking for the shockwave, hits it. Yeah, but the bunker is already out and they are re-engaging into the fight. With Hogger being a little bit low and Ultralisk potentially becoming a target too, they're turning on their favorite target first and take Zarya down once again, which puts them into a numbers advantage. Bye-bye, Diablo. And this is just a disaster. This is insane. They're going for Jaina again. She can ice block this a little bit and will fall regardless. So now we're having another fort destroyed. This is... They have one single keep left. One keep is left and that is it. A 3-level advantage. 19 versus 16. At this point I think you can actually accuse the Exodia stack of playing with their food. Honestly, if you have anybody watching that is not completely... Oh! Diablo! Yeah, I mean, they're just crushing it. Make sure that you move kids and the elderly out of the room if you're watching this on a public screen, because this is... this is traumatizing. I will not be responsible for any professional help that any viewers need here, so please watch respectfully and responsibly, because at this point I can only say that what the Exodia stack is currently doing to the stack of Doom is not legal in tons and tons of states. That is for sure. Right now, there's hit after hit coming. The blue team desperately trying to turn this before 20 hits, but they are about to lose Jaina again, so she's down. And level 20, they're not even getting experience anymore for hero kills, that's what it feels like. There's Zarya gone, Rhaegar is dead, Diablo is dead. I mean, damn, this is insane. 19 kills ahead. We're 14 minutes in and we have 25 kills in total. At this point, you should take the keep out just to show dominance again. Just making a clean job. They haven't lost a single fort. Did they lose towers? They lost a gate. A gate is all they lost as they take the lead in the best of 5 series. Insane. Utterly insane.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2. The Exodia's deck is in the lead, and boy was that a statement. Rumor has it that the stack of Doom is playing the second map standing because they just got spanked so hard that they can't sit down anymore. I feel especially sorry for Außenseiter. I mean, he got farmed. They really farmed him. Zarya just stood no chance. I personally attribute a lot to this, to the Exodia stack also outdrafting them. Taking Vala away, taking Cassia away was really a problem once that Zarya was locked in. So this is one of those games where the stack of Doom just has to say, okay, whatever, this backfired, didn't work out, let's ignore the last game and just clean slate, come in and try to do our best here. Now, Vala gets banned immediately. We're going to towers to Tomb of Spider Queen right now. And I hope that the blue team can recover from this, because that was quite the spanking. Blaze gets locked in as the first pick for the red team. I gotta say, I personally thought that it could have been Jojo again. Benny has been playing Johanna whenever he has a chance. Now Stack of Doom has an opportunity to take her away from them. She's going to be addressed one way or another. I mean, we're definitely going to see Johanna either as a ban or a pick. But I want to see some fireworks here on the draft. Thrall and Hogger already committing to a triple front line. Yeah, okay, so Thrall for Ultralisk. Hogger is in here as well. That means that they have one range damage dealer. Vala's already banned out, and obviously Exodia's deck can try to limit their options a bit further. You could also go for something like triple frontline Zebo. Don't think that that is going to be something that happens here, but hey, the girl can dream. Junkrat and Malfurion. So you have with Junkrat again, lots of interrupts against turn-in, Malfurion the same. And as we could see on some of the plays, not only in the last map, but also the last series, Yasuo is a monster on Malfurion. I mean, he really is. In a lot of cases, we haven't highlighted it too much, but some of the cleanses that he's been hitting on Infernal Shrines in the previous best of 5 are absolutely bonkers. He shuts down plays all day, every day. Now, they see that, blue team sees it, and they're saying, okay, Stitches is out. Quick hook into a root, a Junkrat trap, potential Riptires here, don't need any of this. And we have, again, Gul'dan banned out against the Stack of Doom. Again, it's the same pattern. I talked about this in the first draft. They played Gul'dan on Infernal Shrines. They played Gul'dan on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So on both of the maps, the hero is now being banned out, applying a bit more pressure onto Außenseiter, who is unlikely, I would say, to go for Genji, considering the draft that they're currently building up. Varian and Stukov. Okay. And then the question was Außenseiter's going to pick. They're going for a sniper comp. They have now a lot of CC, there are a lot of tools that they can use here to try and lock themselves a few kills in. Stukov with the Lurking Arm, Thrall with the Wolf Sundering later on, Hogger obviously with the stun that comes up on level 10, but they also need something that really does a lot of damage and can drop the targets quickly. In a different situation with different teams, with for example Team Rip or the Raccoons, I'd say, hey, Orphea is going to be picked again. But now we're having more Overwatch on the side of the Exodia stack, jumping in with an Uberak. Follow up from Blaze, and then we get Tracer. So, where's the damage coming from? You have Thrall already. I mean, it's not like the heroes that they have already picked can't put any damage out, but they still need something that helps them to get those quick kills. In the days of old on Tomb, I would have said Li Ming. You normally want a mage here. Something that gets a lot of bursty damage out. I guess Greymane could also work for them. And the weapon of choice is Tychus. Tychus, okay, so they're gonna go and burn things down with an auto-attacker. Well, map number 2, they certainly have to step it up compared to our first map in the series. Exodia stack is in the lead, and let's head straight into game number 2 of the best of 5, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2, Stack of Doom, they got a lot of work to do here. On the left, we have the blue team now with X-Ray on Hogger, Ultralisk with Thrall, Darkmog playing Varian for the team at the front. Außenseiter on Tychus, going for the grenade build. And we have Linked playing Stukov. Over on the right side of the map, the Exodia stack, the red team, after a huge victory on the first map, hoping to repeat that performance with Bad Benny on Anubrak, actually going for the Regeneration Master here on level 1. Hazops with Junkrat, Yasuo on Malfurion. We got Bloodcool on Blaze and Dynouh on Tracer. So, the stage is set. This is the moment where you have to redeem yourself a bit. If you are the Stack of Doom, this is... You don't necessarily have to win the map. It would help you, it would really help you. But you have to at least make it a much, much closer game than what we've seen on Infernal Shrines. That much is for sure. So once that level 4 kicks in, we're going to get the stun, the taunt from Varian, and then it's on. Thrall in the 4-man, helping them out. And Tychus, of course, going to try to burn everything down that is in his path to set the team up for some kills. Bad Benny jumping out quickly as he becomes the target. Typical rotation between the middle and the top lane, of course, now. Yeah, stuns against Darkmog. Still a bit early in the game. Don't want to lose anybody here. Good news for Benny, by the way. The 1 minute mark has passed. Can't pull a Lauber anymore. I miss Lauber. I really do. I mean, I'm teasing always, but I think he's playing a different, like one of those 3D MOBAs currently. Predecessor, I believe. At least he's playing it occasionally on stream. I'm not quite sure how involved he actually is with that game. I've never really looked into it. But it's a shame that he doesn't play any Heroes of the Storm anymore, at least not in the tournaments that we have. Those were always the good times, when the Swedes came in with all of their teams, and yeah, that was huge. Down at the bottom of the map, we now have the Stag of Doom grabbing the camp. So off we go with Siege Giants for the blue team. Already, there's the quick double connect. Nice. Unfortunately, nothing that they can follow up on. If he had his level 4 talent already at that point in time, it would have given him a few stacks on this. Regeneration Master, by the way, continuing currently for Nubrak. Haven't seen that in a hot minute, honestly. But this is a map where you can get it in a pretty reasonable time frame and then enjoy the hit point bonus that comes with it. Taunt is now available, and this is where it gets really interesting from our perspective, because this is where we have to check out how this works out for the blue team. Benny missing that stun nearly turned into him dying, so that was pretty close. But currently Varian on the money pick, moving in, looking for those taunt targets. There it is, but Blaze makes it out. The lurking armor's there, but that wasn't really a problem. We have on level 4, the bigger they are for Tychus. I guess that was a given, considering what they're trying to do here. I honestly expected a mage after I saw Varian. Tychus can get a lot of damage out and burn a target low pretty quickly. And yeah, you just have to get those kills eventually. Money pick style for Darkmog. I like it. Now, when it comes to just objective control, I still think that Stag of Doom probably has a bit of an edge here, considering that we have them with a lot of interrupt potential from a distance. So they can definitely do a lot to stall out an opponent when they're attempting to turn in, maybe get their first turn in first. We have now 24 of the gems already delivered. They have enough for a full turn in, by the way. And Yasuo is still shutting players down all day, every day. So they're trying to play around Darkmog a bit. Dynouh in particular, of course, has to be careful. The one thing that Tracer hates is just auto-attack damage that you can't dodge and any kind of stun or CC that gets put on you. So Tracer being taunted, that would very likely result in a quick kill if the blue team syncs their abilities up properly. 11 more gems needed for Exodia stack to get themselves a turn in. Dynouh actually gets taunted, but there was no follow-up, as we already talked about a second ago. There's a level 7 talent. We're 4 minutes in, haven't seen a kill yet. But this might be the first one, and Ultralisk is ultra dead. So, there follows Tychus, and they are hoping for a third kill. Darkmog gets fully swarmed and also taken out. It's a triple, baby. 3 heroes taken down. Huge plays again from the Exodia stack. And Stag of Doom is losing ground, and a lot of it. Not only is the turn now completed, the wall in the mid lane is already getting more or less destroyed. The tower is low. They're getting even more damage in, so the Web Weavers are going to have an easy time there. And at the bottom of the map, you guessed it already, they're trying to do the exact same things. They're opening the gate up, they're taking the tower slowly down, and every bit of damage that they're pushing through now will help the Web Weavers to get damage in on the ports themselves. This is going to be a tough one to stop, and it likely will end up with a massive leading experience for the red team, which could help them to get a very early level 10 and maybe even a double turn in. So, yeah, tough times on this one. Down at the bottom of the map, defense is there. Thrall, by the way, gets killed in the middle. That shouldn't have happened either. Now they go for the fort, and taking a fort out with your first objective is huge. And that's exactly what they're trying for. And this is not the only thing that gets attacked. Blaze is still at the bottom of the map, and there's another Web Weaver at the top lane. This one falls 100%, I suppose. Actually, no, they save it. It will be destroyed soon, though. And at the top lane, there's another one that is about to go down. That is massive, massive gains from Exodia stack. Benny missing the stun again. He's a little bit off in his timing with these burrow charges. And there's the level 10 abilities. They're picking up quite a lot of gems. The poke from a distance, as you would expect, as they're trying to take down the fort here. And then down at the bottom of the map, yeah, they're pushing for that too. They have level 10 abilities, so obviously they can do on the map essentially whatever they want now. And it seems like what they want is to steal some camps away. So, yeah. Quick hits on the camp, claiming the mercenaries here. Fort down, he hasn't taken enough damage to really fully YOLO into it. But the one thing to highlight is that we have enough gems by now for the red team to get another turn in. So they could easily try and pull it off, but they want to capitalize on the level 10 talent a bit more. So they're getting a cocoon out, trying to set things up against X-Ray. 21 gems, and he's dead. Linked is trying to grab at least a few of them, and does. So recovering a couple of the gems that they lost, which is good news. But Varian has now died as well, and obviously that leads to the fort being destroyed. And guys, we're talking 7 minutes in the game. The first objective, and all the forts are gone. Every single fort has been destroyed. 7 minutes in. They're on level 11. They're about to hit 12. And we're getting more web weavers now. Exodia Stack is currently turning this into a quick match. I mean, they really are. They make Stack of Doom look like a pub team. It's brutal. 6 kills to 0. And I want to stress again that as well as the Exodia Stack is playing here, they lost in the winner bracket. They lost in the group stage. It really puts into perspective how fantastic of a series not only Team RIP but also the Raccoons have played. Now, Hoggers get, Web Weavers are coming. They're looking for more kills. The Jet Propulsion Connect out of hell. Riptire dropping them nearly. Darkmork on the run, and he's gone. They're dying so fast, honestly, I can't even count out the names at this point. This is getting ridiculous. Here comes Odin, the wall is already about to fall, and the red team is just looking for more victims. All they see when they look at the opponent's team is experience. There's like no threat there, they don't see heroes, they just see numbers. Extra XP right there, ooh, look, another big one, that's more experience. And now they're going for a keep. We're talking 8.5 minutes in this game, guys. What is happening here? This is an absolute cleanup. This is insane. The keep is nearly destroyed. They're taking that keep out before the 9-minute mark. Keep is gone. Down here, we have the wall destroyed. At the keep, they're going for the attack again. And that is a bye-bye Varian.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Top side, this one has also already taken damage. And they're just moving back out. They're just asking themselves right now, what are we going to do? How many kills do they have?
9.
That's what I thought. They're going for the boss, and the only sad thing for them is that the boss doesn't do enough damage. It's a 9-minute boss. So they can take this and they can push with it and then try to take out the topside keep too. But that's insane. They're trying to set a record here, as it seems. The best of 5 speedrun. Now, there's the turn-in. Linked! Yeah, he gets it. Link gets the turn-in at least, so they have an easier time defending against the boss. Well, maybe. Because in order for that to be a thing, the first thing that has to happen is that the red team has an interest defending against the web weavers. And doesn't just simply go to the top and push with this regardless. So, yeah, this is going to take a bit of damage, but they're taking the web weavers out. You blink and you miss them. Look at the experience gap. Blue team is about to hit their level 13 talent, which finally puts them on an even talent here. The Exodia stack is nearly on level 16 now. Spray game is on point. I mean, spray game at least is absolutely on point here. Blaze is defending the bot lane now. Blue team has enough gems for another turn-in, I suppose. Yeah, so they can get a second turn-in. Maybe this one is actually going to do some damage and scratch a wall or something, because so far that hasn't happened. All that the last turn-in did was give them a little bit more control over the map and push those minions back. There's the level 16 talent. Ysera's gift is in. And the Nubarak with the engage. The stuns. Cocoon on Tychus as they're going for a linked. He's gone, and Außenseiter is surrounded and will also fall. Tigers doesn't stand a chance. Tracer was hoping to even get a third kill for the team. Missed out on that a little bit. We have them on 55 gems, so if they're just going for 2 more minion waves, they have enough to get themselves a third turn in. But already just stealing the opponent's camp away, just diving across the map. They could also go for structures directly. The biggest problem for the red team is currently that the death timers are this low this early in the game. I'm not trying to be funny here, by the way. This is actually their biggest problem. That the death timers are too low on the blue team side, and that's why they can't end. If the death timers would be any higher, they would probably already have moved for the core to try and take it out. Instead, they're now syncing up camps. They're taking their own over on the top right. They're going for the turn-in and get that slowly together. Can still take the camp down here, of course. And will also take this one. Tracer, by the way, currently soloing it. And Dynouh probably like, help! Somebody help! I need an assist here. I need something. So, off we go. That's both of the camps taken at the same time to maximize the pressure on the lanes, plus the web weavers. And they are still maintaining a 3-level lead. And Hogger moved out, and you are not supposed to go past your base. You know that. If you do that, you just get killed, like just happened. So, that's Hogger just gone. Death count, by the way. Varian has died 4 times. Now the rest of the team is about to fall. They haven't lost a single hero yet, and as I am about to say it, Malfurion dies. So Malfurion goes down. Top keep is about to fall, by the way, because nobody's dealing with the web weavers there, and in the middle the core is getting attacked. But at this point in time, we have 37,000 damage for Tracer, 27,000 for Tigers. They can't get the keep here just yet, but the core is actually losing hit points, and quite a lot of that. So it's down to 75%. Top keep has fallen. Tracer is dead as well. Finally a few kills. And here comes the taunt. But I suppose that Darkmorg... Uh-oh. Yeah, Darkmorg is dead. Thrall trying to make a move here. Junkrat will have to... will have to eat the grenade, I suppose. Yep, that's at least 3 kills for them. But it doesn't change the fact that now the keep at the top is gone. Keep in the middle is destroyed. Core is at 68%. And let's be honest, this keep doesn't look very healthy either. So, what can they do? They have enough gems for a turn-in, so technically the blue team could now try and deliver. Get themselves a web weaver wave and reclaim a little bit of momentum in this game. But that's a tall order. Tracer is back. Junkrat is down for another 15 seconds. So just buying a little bit of time is already going to be enough here. Link just with the attempted turn in time and time again. Sundering, and well, that didn't really do a whole lot for them. Yasuo was paying attention here. And instead they're trying to go for Ultralisk. Benny is still a bit low. And in comes Varian with a taunt. And Yasuo is dead. Yep. Yasuo trying to save Benny. Cost him his life. And that is a stagger death. Still a 1-level gap between the two teams. More than a 1-level gap. But I suppose that the kill on Malfurion is guaranteeing them now the web weavers. So, yeah, they should be able to grab that. Still haven't fully turned in though. So, if they have some tools to interrupt and just stay safe, maybe they can buy enough time for Malfurion to come back. But Ultralisk is on 42 and makes it. And they go for the boss at the same time. So, the Exodia stack shouldn't take this too lightly, I guess. But obviously, they are way ahead. And now that they are realizing, hey, our opponent is actually going for the boss, they just go for the keep at the bottom of the map. So it's like, why not? Just take the keep out. Catapults are already going to save the day for us, and they're going to help here. Now they're burning the web weaver down, and there's nothing that the blue team can do about this. All they can do is try and just execute this topside push as best as they can with web weavers, with the boss, and just simply burn this to the ground. But we have level 20 talents now as well for the Exodia stack. All hearthing back for now. Dynouh is actually on the move. So, yeah, Ultralisk is already hearthing. The problem that they have is that there's always a chance that there could be a quick backdoor attempt. So that's why they're cancelling the hearth the entire time. They don't know that the red team actually retreated. And they were still a bit fearful that they are just setting up and timing an attack on the core itself. Riptire's coming in. Yep. Got some damage together already. Topside keep could still fall. I mean, this is taking a lot of damage. Sundering did not connect. The Wolf did, but Ultralisk is low. And now, here comes the Jet Propulsion connect. Oh, and Thrall nearly died here. Thrall nearly died. Darkmog might actually. And Ultralisk is not out of the woods yet. Ultralisk is still low, but they're going for the next target. They're actually trying to take down Tychus, and they drop him. Now, the keep at the top has been eliminated. Boss at the core, but they can deal with that. And while all of this plays out and the blue team is on the run, their core is about to be attacked. I mean, we have catapults pushing in from 2 different lanes now. They're still chasing X-Ray at the top, who's attempting to create himself a little bit more space. But with the Root of Malfury, and once again, Yasuo with a perfect setup here. Hogga is nearly dead, makes it out, but Stukov isn't so lucky. He gets destroyed. He's not the only one. Thrall dies too, and that is the end of game number 2. The Exodia stack with an absolute crazy series here. Really destroying the opponent. 17 kills to 4, and that's a 2-0 lead now for the red team, as we are about to hit game number 3 in this best of 5 in the losers bracket. GG. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity, is potentially the last map, and let's face it, the blue team has to step it up here. Exodia stack has essentially accepted a challenge. They were challenged to end a best of 5 series as quickly as they possibly can, not only making it a 3-0, but also speedrunning every single map, and that seems very much what they're doing right now. Now, Stack of Doom... not a bad team, but they feel like they are a deer in the headlights right now. That's at least what it seems like. They need to do something in order to bring this back. Right now, it's a total disaster for them. They are barely putting up a resistance. We have Battlefield of Eternity now. First pick, first ban went over to the Exodia stack. So Stack of Doom decided that they want to determine the map this time, and that they want to go to Battlefield of Eternity. Tracer is banned out. It was about time. I mean, after Tracer wrecking them twice now, that they finally start to ban her out makes perfect sense. On the other hand, Vala and Maiev both again eliminated in the draft. But here comes the double pick for the blue team. And again, they gotta come up with something here. They have to win 3 in a row now in order to win this series and not being eliminated. If they lose, they still come in 4th place at the tournament. But this is not what these 2 teams set up to do when they came into this event. So we get Rhaegar. Linked loves the hero, always has, always will. And we have Ultralisk with Hanzo now. Whereas over on the right side, well, after Blaze has been picked up for the side lane, we now get Chromie. So big burst damage that comes in for them. And we have Benny on Johanna. Again, one of his go-tos for sure. So, yeah, takes that pretty quickly here. But, yeah. Game number 1, I really looked at the draft and I was like, okay, they've been outdrafted a little bit. The opponent saw it coming. They reacted well, took a lot of their options away, put them in a spot where they really had to make a decision. Not that they were forced into Jaina with Zarya. They could have gone for Greymane and a couple of other choices, so it was not a hopeless cause or anything, or where you just checkmate the opponent entirely. But it feels like their draft was interrupted enough that they didn't really get the draft and the options that they wanted. Now that we're heading into game number 3, the picture looks a little bit different, because we had Tumor Spider Queen, where the blue team didn't look any better. Now we have Außenseiter's Genji banned away, so they can't go for the Shimada brothers anymore, if that was the plan in the first place. But I believe it's actually what they did in one of the previous best of 5s that they played. But, well, Li Ming plus Muradin. Außenseiter has played a couple of Li Ming games as well, so now they have nice poke with Hanzo, they have the poke with Li Ming, they can try and go for resets, play that maybe out with either Calamity, or go for a glass cannon build if they're just staying at a distance the entire time. X-Ray with another melee hero for them is going to rock the side lane here. He will have to go up against Blaze, so we'll see what exactly he chooses, but the team definitely needs to step it up. That is just not enough. Exodia stack, then dropping into the lower bracket was, of course, an upset in the first place. Them losing in the group stage was an upset. So they're trying to prove themselves here, and they're making a huge statement with the performance in this best of 5. Sylvanas for Dynouh, and we got Ana, played by Yasu, can boost Chromie a little bit. Obviously, Eye of Horus still mega powerful as well, so you don't have to go always into the boost. We've seen a lot of Eye of Horus plays lately, but with this lineup you can still do that if you want to burn down targets even faster. And here comes X-Ray with Chen, so it's Panda time. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 3, match point number 1 for the Exodia stack as they go up against the Stack of Doom. Game number 3, match point. Over on the left, we got X-Ray on Chen, linked on Rhaegar, Darkmog on Muradin, Außenseiter with Liming, and Ultralisk with Hanzo. Chen coming in with the Eye of the Tiger over here. Who needs fresh ingredients? And over on the right side, the Exodia stack with Bad Benny. On Jojo, we got Yasu on Ana. Bloodcool with Blaze. Hazops on Chromie. And Dynouh, last but not least, for the red team. With all the success that they had in this series and, well, this entire day so far. Dynouh with Sylvanas. Now, can they repeat that performance? It would be crazy. It would be absolutely crazy, but I wouldn't put it past them. Chen is already sitting at the top. They were expecting Sylvanas to try and make a bit of a move. You can see how they are splitting their forces on the minimap. So they were already expecting that there would be some kind of play made by the Exodia stack for something. That's not really the case here. Up at the top though, we still have Ultralisk around, but seems like Bloodcool is totally fine here going up against X-Ray. So Hanzo is now slowly making his way down to the bottom of the map, where the rest of the team is already dealing with Chromie and with Sylvanas in this case. And Ultralisk making himself known pretty quickly, but also has to get out. That was a bit more damage that he bargained for. So he's low, needs those heals from Rhaegar. And the sleep dart connects with Liming immediately, but she got away. And Ultralisk nearly ate the damage, walking into the path there. They're definitely not in a good position. I mean, this is a really tricky spot for them. There's a lot of pressure on them right now. And just mentally, to put yourself into a spot where once you're down 0-2 in a best of 5, you're just like, alright guys, we can still do this. It can be really tricky. We've seen reverse sweeps, but they are rare. We've seen a lot of games, I would say, where a team was 0-2, go to the 5th map, but being able to win 3 in a row is always a tall order. Even if you make it to map number 5, all that has to happen is you misstepping once, and your opponent still claims the series, which is also something that we have seen in this particular tournament already. The games, honestly, in the group stage and in the playoffs were amazing so far. I mean, as I said before, if you haven't checked them all out, you should go and have a look at the playlist on YouTube, because the group stage matches were absolutely bonkers. And both of the groups had fantastic games there. I was actually very impressed by the performance of all of the teams that played there. So yeah, there's a playlist on YouTube that you can have a look at if you want to catch up on some of those. And as usual, on the thumbnails, you already see which games are especially great and get the epic stamp. But now we're level 4 kicking in for the two teams. The typical build for Liming continues. We got Triumvirate here. We have Reverberation for Muradin. Jojo is still holding on to the lane a little bit longer. Objective has been announced, and now we get, of course, the camps claimed. So off we go with the Shamans on the red team side and the blue team side both locked in. And that brings us to the first objective of Battlefield of Eternity. It is Immortal time. And not time to die early. Jet propulsion. Rhaegar with a save. Benny. No. No. Not like this. Not with this timing. Not as the objective spawns. First blood against Darkmog. And they take the lead on it. Now, of course, up at the top, we still have Hanzo, so they have a chance of winning the objective still. They're actually doing better than their opponent's team, but this is still a time that you don't want to have. Ultralisk is ultra dead. Hanzo just got murdered. Dies to Ana, but she set up Chromie for success there. The team is still fighting out on this as best as they can. The Exodia stack doesn't really have an immortal composition. This is not a comp that is designed to raise the Immortal, whereas we have multiple heroes on the Stack of Doom that make this a lot faster for the blue team. But this is still a very, very low shield, and the 2 kills, of course, account for something as well. Gives you lead and experience. Blue team still wins the Immortal, but they are fine with it. Obviously, you want to win the Immortal there, but if in this situation with this team you're losing out on the first Immortal and even the second Immortal of the game, you're totally fine. Things change once that death timers increase, and every kill that you get is giving you more control for a longer period of time. Should be an easy defense here. I do not see the Stack of Doom getting that fort. They will destroy the wall, they might get some damage on the fort itself, but besides that, shouldn't do too much. At least now that Sylvanas has decided that she also wants to be part of the defense. The famous Dynouh flank. We know how that went with Cassia when they played against, I believe it was the Raccoons on Battlefield of Eternity. People that watch the series know what I'm talking about. I thought it was Urel that was flanking in for the longest time, and then I read the player name and I was like, wait, what? Dynouh? Dynouh is flanking? And we all know how that went. So, yeah, this time went a little bit better. As expected, the fort has taken some damage, but now there's a few more camps up, and of course the lead and experience is still maintained. And that still accounts for the fact that the blue team has now some extra XP thanks to the structures that they took down. Destroying a couple of the towers up here at the top obviously helps. But that half-level lead for the Exodia stack, still a thing. They also got the mercenary camp, that of course helped, but it is a trade this time. At the bottom of the map, the blue team also took a Khaldor camp and responded accordingly. We get Calamity, Skullcracker. Yeah, and a dwarf in with a lot of problems. So Muradin, after he got first slowed down and then also hit by the sleep dart, was in trouble. With that now all of a sudden, here comes the next little play. Chromie, totally fine, gets attacked by Muradin though. But this is not over yet. Everybody is committing, but the red team only has 4 heroes at the top lane. Benny's trying to get out, and he's dead. Nearly killed Link, but Link got away. Rhaegar's still alive, and Johanna has fallen. Immortal is spawning in the 16, so they're going to be fine there. But all of this comes with possession being used at the bottom of the map. So they are applying more pressure onto that bot lane. X-Ray is saying hello, so Dynouh will have to jump back out. Fat Illidan is making some moves here. Yeah, and Dynouh could actually die. Fat Illidan is on the move, trying to hunt him down, but Dynouh is a little bit too fast. This was a lot closer than he thought it would be, though. He nearly died then. Will now... Actually, I was about to say he will have to hearth, but moves back towards the top. The good news for the Exodia stack is, of course, that with the extra experience they got from Sylvanas staying at the bot lane, that they have an early level 10 talent, which is guaranteeing them the halftime show here. And from the looks of it, are they going to get more? Nah, they're going to be here. But still, this is 50% of the hit points gone already. Chen with a keg. No surprises, honestly, with the ults. But this one should be, I was about to say a freebie, but yeah, not quite. Can they win the objective? Hanzo is always a menace when it comes to it. But this time, it is the red team that gets it. Arrow! Nearly dodged, but not quite. The bunker is on the ground immediately and saves the day for them. Ancestral had to be thrown out too, so both of the teams are exchanging some cooldowns. X-Ray is taking even more damage, but this was of course a little gamble by Stack of Doom in an attempt to take down one of the heroes at a minimum to shut down this attack here, which backfired against them. Topside fort has taken more damage on the blue team side, and now it's all about the bottom of the map. With the wall eliminated, there is a chance that the fort is the first one to fall in the game. And since Sylvanas is helping out too, those chances are pretty high. Even Hanzo again in trouble. Ah, yeah, damn, they're just murdering that fort. No chance. Fort is gone, and they can even try and take that wall down. Top side, Chen still playing up against Blaze. Red team decided that they don't want to be too aggressive. They're actually trying to go for Chen instead. So X-Ray is now going to get attacked here, and will have to keg away. Pops the ult and moves back out. There was no chance for him to survive any other way. If you don't use your ult here, you are just toast. It's kind of funny that they... Oh, maybe the minions? Yes! The fort is gone. So both of the forts eliminated on the side of the Stack of Doom. The experience lead is still there. hero experience and also the minion experience in favor of Exodia stack. As all of this now continues with the game and 2 forts being eliminated, it also means, of course, that the passive XP will increase more and more. Exodia stack is going to extend that gap further and further. But right now, it's still all about... I mean, it's still fairly even. It's a kill against 2. If you compare this to the last 2 games, I mean, let's be honest about this for a moment. This is way better. 2 kills against 1 at the 9-minute mark. That would have been a dream for Stack of Doom on any of the previous 2 maps, where they just got destroyed from start to finish. And what was it, like 12 kill lead towards the end or something along those lines? So yeah, bananas. But right now, they can still fight this one out. Now, with that said, on the damage numbers, we now have 19,000 for Chromie, 14,000 for Sylvanas. Chen is the top damage dealer for Stack of Doom and sitting at 20,000. Next objective is already announced, and we have a level 13 advantage, at least initially here, for the Exodia stack. But that's a very small gap now, and something that Stack of Doom will be able to catch up on, especially now with Chen getting another minion wave all the way up at the top. Maybe there's a tiny lead. Nah, there's not really. They're gonna hit it just at the right moment in time. There it is. 13 talents are in. Bronze Beard Rage. Oh, stun into the Immortal stun. Okay, they're trying to turn it on Li Ming, but Benny is low and he's gone. Benny is destroyed and Anna is dead as well. Stack of Doom is showing up. Finally some signs of life from the blue team. Hell, it was about time. This is looking a bit better now. They're closing the experience gap, and this is going to be a big Immortal from the looks of it. Ultralisk is eating some damage from Chromie, but again, that's a halftime show victory, and this could be a huge Immortal for the Stack of Doom. Now, the red team is going to fight back on this, but I think all that they can realistically do is reduce the shield a little bit, and not by much. They go for Dark Mog. A kill would go a long way for them, but that's not happening either. We don't have a Blessed Shield yet. It will be there in a moment. 2 seconds until the Blessed Shield is up. Doesn't have it yet. Could go for Li Ming, and there it is! Li Ming! And she's dead. Blessed Shield came off cooldown just in time. They killed Rhaegar too. And yeah, that's the absolute disaster for the blue team. Just as they get the objective, they're losing 3 heroes, and now they can easily defend here. So yeah, Muradin gets out, but I'm not even sure that they're going to get that fort. Well, I guess they should. No, honestly, probably not. It's going to be a close call. I guess the fort is not really going to make it. But yeah, even if it survives, it's going to be picked off pretty quickly. So, glorious defense here again by the Exodia stack. Stack of Doom is cursed. I mean, they're seriously cursed. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's what we get. That's what's happening here. Now, the next attack is coming. I mean, there's still a lead in experience thanks to the kills that they just got for the red team. They're closing in on a level 16 talent. Yeah, well, the fort at the bot lane is obviously now going to get attacked. They're 5-manning the entire thing. So they catch up in structures a little bit. Nothing extreme, but hey, every little step into the right direction matters at this point. Level 16 talents, that gives us also, of course, the active reload. And the Will of the Forsaken for Sylvanas, more importantly. Quite the series. Not a speedrun in Game 3, though. Stack of Doom is able to turn it around here, who knows? Maybe they have a chance to make some plays on this. Now, anyways. We have to keep our eye also on Chen, who will engage the backline again and try and isolate a couple of the heroes here. So, let's see if we can pull that off once more. Or if they maybe force it out early for him to try and escape. But here comes the next Immortal. Blood Cool with a stun. Gets a double stun in. Gets instantly attacked. And we'll have to bunker up or he's gone. Alright, here's the instant move from Chen. But yeah, Blood Cool gets away. Wailing Arrow. Hanzo Arrow. All the arrows. And another Storm Bolt against Blaze, who is still perfectly alive here, alive and kicking, as the blue team gets momentum in the fight and on the objective, trying to get that halftime show victory. Red team tapped the fountain at the top and is now re-engaging into this. X-Ray needs an Ancestral, gets it from Rhaegar. Hanzo's a little bit low too, has to be careful here, and Chen is still in trouble. Chen is not out of this. Chen is dead. Chen is gone, and now they can turn it once again, once more. Play after play now from the Exodia stack, as they're also attempting to shield the Immortal, of course. Ana slowly on the move here. Not a whole lot of damage on the Immortal though, this is still a thing. And here comes Benny to try and slow down Ultralisk. But at the end of the day, the Exodia stack needs kills. Their team composition is not catered towards a straight up fight on the Immortal damage. But they get the kills. They take Rhaegar out. Now they're trying to go for Darkmog and for Ultralisk at the same time. Ultralisk is able to jump out. Darkmog also retreating. Li Ming! And yeah, she makes it. Or does she? Außenseiter is gone and Ultralisk nearly died as well. Everybody is just trying to escape. They're rushing out here. Attack after attack. Bloodcool is on the point. They're taking the blue team's Immortal down piece by piece. And I do not think that the Stack of Doom can recover on this objective. This Immortal is going to go over to the Exodia stack. Big plays by them again. 8 kills to 3 now. And as predicted at the beginning of the game, once that the death timers increase, the blue team will struggle. Those heroes that get killed are down for much longer now and give a numbers advantage to the Exodia stack. So the blue team is at least fighting. I mean, they're in fighting shape right now, and they're really trying to claw their way back into the series. But it's made incredibly difficult by the resilience from the Exodia stack. The team is just too well coordinated right now. And we are headed straight for that top side wall. Immortal doesn't have a ton of shield, but still enough to break the wall down without even losing the shield and dropping into melee mode. So it's guaranteed that the keep is going to take damage here. So it's already starting to move forward. They're trying to zone them out as best as they can. Sylvanas is jumping in, out. The keg, not good enough. Not good enough. Nano boost, and that's the end of Mirrodin. A boosted Chromie. Chen in trouble. Mirrodin already gone. They're trying for Bloodcool, and he gets the Ancestral. Well, more or less. Sorry, Bloodcool doesn't not get the Ancestral. He gets the bunker. The Ancestral saving the blue team as they are now fighting for their core. More kills could, of course, result in the red team making the move. Oh, not like this! Rhaegar and Hanzo are both gone. And that's the play for X-Ray. He's dead as well. Guys, that is game. The Stack of Doom takes 4th place in the anniversary tournament. Exodia stack, they take them down with a 3-0 and move on to the losers bracket final, where they will face off once again against Team Rip. GG and well played.